Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. $20.5 It's a little bit pessimistic, isn't it? Just 20 seconds. It's the one with just Chi-Chi. Odette. 20 seconds, yeah. Yae. Odette, Chi-Chi. You definitely want to go Yae first. Odette. Hello, Farrand. Just trying to update some of these calcs. I've not properly done spreadsheets for a while. I think this is from way back in like V1 or V2, I don't remember. The idea is to just get these up to date and update numbers for a lot of the characters, because a lot of them got new teams and like new gearing, new combos even. I don't really remember, or I can't really say for sure that I know how good everything is anymore. I just want to make sure I still know, so my takes are always objectively correct, you know? Okay, energy recharge. Let's see if this is correct. 20 seconds. Sandrone. 12 is from Odette. Oh, no. Wait. Hold on. How long does Chi-Chi's skill last for again? It's like 15 seconds, right? 15 seconds. And her passive is... Hold on, let me cook. So, Chi-Chi skill is... What was her passive? It's 50 stellar damage. It's 50 stellar damage while her E is active, right? Herald of Frost. That's the E skill. Okay, why is this not in tabs? Take a look. Okay. Skill. So, Herald of Frost. So yeah, we kind of want to maximize this. You have to use Chi-Chi E right before Sandrone. And then Tenacity naturally should be the better set over Instructor, right? What did Flip use? Am I okay? The chat scares you. I was just testing the chat overlay on screen. So looking at C2 Flynn's, it seems kind of weak. 3 hits of 80-90k plus 1.1 million, 1.1 multiplier on team from Restred. Maybe not weak, but like very similar to NF R1. It's also plus 10% team-wide buff. Okay, let me see if I can find it. But like, I remember very clearly that I was calculating this. Like, Flynn's was the best one. C2. Yeah, going from, like, it's pretty big. Going from C0 to C2 is a 36% team DPS increase. That's two cons combined as a 36% team DPS increase. Maybe a little bit less, because C1 extends your rotation slightly, but it's like over 30%. And compared to both weapons, like it is definitely better. What are we calcing? Just whatever I think of. Right now, I just want to get updated on Sandrone, and then I want to see Traveler DPS at C6 mostly, because we'll get C6 like pretty quick, right? At like in like maybe 7.2 or something. But I guess a lot of people would be interested in the C2 numbers as well, because you get that in 7.0. But I'm more thinking of from a slightly longer term perspective. But we could just do them both at the same time. I'm a little bit rusty with the sheets, but that sounded kind of sus. But it shouldn't take that long. First things first, what I wanted to do was now that I assumed that the craftable weapons would work on release, but it seems like they still don't work if you don't directly trigger a stellar reaction. In other words, you're stuck with Title Shadow on Sandrone for her actual team, which is okay. But we should be accurate with that. So I just want to update it to those to reflect that. Title Shadow is a pretty cool looking weapon, not gonna lie. So that would be 510 base attack. Oh, by the way, I made this sheet completely by myself. So if something, so there's no template that I took from like the other content creators, the other TCs. So if something is scuffed, please let me know. Like if I fuck something up, like there's something fundamentally wrong with the sheets, please please point it out. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, so we'll distribute the subs later. So yeah, as you can probably guess, this is like the substat distributor that I do manually. There's no auto optimization here. Not knowledgeable enough to help me? It's okay. You just sit here and talk to me. That's good enough. Okay. Yeah, but since both weapons can fall into one cost on this banner, it seems like a better idea if a C2 isn't really much stronger. No, it is decently stronger. But, yes. I will say, because both weapons are good, like, you could just pull on the weapon banner instead, because there's no way to fail there. Like, you cannot, unless you get super unlucky, get a fuck-ass off-banner weapon, in which case, well, shit. But otherwise, like, it's basically guaranteed to be good, right? Okay. Ascension, that's the Ascension. That's the, I'm assuming 90% cryo resonance uptime in this triple cryo team. That's pretty okay, right? 37%, 9 average stacks, it's cryo damage bonus. Passives, 160 EM. That's one of her passives, right? I don't quite remember. Give me a second. So, Sandrone, Odette, Chi-Chi, Yamiko. Sandrone. That's one of her passives, right? Surely it is. Skills. Right, I believe that's her A4. Yes. So if you have attack, yeah, so 4K attack. Is that 3K attack or 4K attack? I don't remember. That'll get her. So wait. 160. So elemental mastery. So yeah, 3K attack gives her the full 160 EM. So it's basically gonna be maxed the entire time. And then for the weapon, This is title Shadow. It's 41% attack, right? And then in the passive, it's 48% attack plus 41. Okay, so it equals 41.3% plus, what is this, 48% attack. Huge attack stick, no EM. And that for sure gets you the full passive. That's just the weapon. And then set bonus, we're just gonna use, what is it called? Dids. The disenchant or whatever. That's a 18% attack. 16 crit rate, 40 reaction damage bonus. That can't be wrong. That cannot be wrong. She carries no supportive or like more further buffs on her own kit. Yai Miko, this is from C1. And Yai is not holding a supportive set or a supportive weapon. Although, Yai can use the craftable in this team. Can she use a supportive weapon? No, I'm not going to calc Wandering Even Star because nobody has that shit anymore. Alright, let me check chat. I'm rusty in the sheets, he says. Hey, yo. Call me Farina the way I'm a fraud. What are we talking about? Nobody has been bat-chesting Farina for the past, like, year at least. And she does, unlike a lot of old frauds, she actually does have one good team with Skirk, okay? Sandorna and Flynn's have the same, yeah, it's the exact same passive. Is Yai doing more damage than Sandrona? No way. Sandrona does a lot of damage. Yeah, this is Yai C1. Okay, let's see. Odette holds the supportive set. By the way, what is the supportive set actually called? Let me search it up. It's called, is it Scarlet Proof? Nope, that's the Stellar Swirl. It's Heart of the Furnace. HOTF. Let's call it that. So Odette is on HOTF. These names. And Chi-Chi is, of course, just on Tenacity. Okay, Odette's on HOTF, and then 60% is her own passive that buffs other characters on the team other than herself. Now that brings the question: is Odette EE enough time? No, you have to probably use Odette before Yai. No, wait, no. By the time the first tick of Sandronia's charge attack comes out, surely Odette would have max stacked this, right? Yeah, she definitely would have. Okay, Chi-Chi, that's 50% is from her passive. That should cover the full field time on Sandrone. That can't be wrong. And then 20% is just Tenacity. I don't believe there are any other buffs on this team. And no res shred. Bullshit. That's one big problem with this team against certain content. But we'll deal with that. And then I calculated this to be 108 ER rec, so you have to build one extra ER roll, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, let's fill these substats out. 106, it's too high. 14, sound looks about right. 13, and the rest go to attack. Like five rolls of attack. 2 for 5. Yeah, this is slightly weaker than the craftable would be if the craftable worked perfectly, but it doesn't. Yeah, that seems perfectly fine. And then these, I'm just gonna trust the values I inputted were correct. It'd be extremely awkward if they're not. 11. I think this might just be 10. Doesn't really matter though. Each charge attack. How many? Oh, okay. By the way, is Alosha asked now? Yes. If you got C2 Odette, C6 Alosha, is it worth using over someone who would buff Yai more like Nicole or Chi-Chi? If you got C2 Odette, C6 Alyosha, I think... I mean, I can check, like, later. But I'm pretty sure, like, C6 Alyosha is at least, like, not worse, or not much worse than Chi-Chi. Nicole is not all that at C0, I think. Like, she's really good for Sino, maybe for Risley, because long field time, and, you know, Risley can't use Alyosha even if you wanted to. Especially now after the nerf. But for Sandrone, I'm pretty sure C6 Alyosha would be better than Nicole for sure. C0 Nicole, that is. But Chi-Chi is kind of really good. So it's very possible. It's, like, let's put it this way. At the very minimum, C6 Alyosha is very, very similar to Chi-Chi in this team. And you shouldn't... He also might feel better in practice because he doesn't require... Like, Chi-Chi kind of misses hits, right? If you don't hug up to the enemy. 10. I guess 11's what would happen if you actually try to do the cancels. We'll do that. And then 3 charge attacks. There is no buff uptime fall off in this team at all, which is really, really nice. Q hits 3 times before the big hit. That's correct. That should be right. And then now that's just the same. Charge attack. So charge attack. Yeah, these should all be correct. And then this is really weird. This is my way of calcing the base damage increase from one of the passives. It's really trippy. So just so you know, this adds the 14% base damage bonus that Odette would contribute to this team. Okay, that's correct. And then Yai, there should be no changes either. Yai Ascension and damage bonus, that's correct. This is the Stellar Conduct field that gives electro damage bonus. Passives, this is her own Ascension passive. This only affects some of the hits, obviously, because it doesn't buff stellar damage. Weapon, I assumed her on the craftable, which seems to be correct here. But just in case, let me check the craftable stats. And surely there's no way the Battle Pass weapon's better, right? I guess I might as well check it. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, no, I got C2 Nicole because I wanted Nicole and didn't want Nicole to be a fraud. Well, C2 Nicole is better than C6 Alyosha even in V1, I'm pretty sure. So there's that. I don't have hex carries. And Nicole doesn't need a hex carry. She just needs another... Well, she doesn't even need another hex character on the team. But like, she works in a lot of places, especially at C2. Dear Arlecchino and Raiden were able to use Nicole, so I went for it. Good. Chi-Chi is goaded now. Yeah. Just really funny. Okay, let's check the stats on this. It's Clash of Kings. That's the wrong one. Echoes of the Heart. 565. 27. Attack. That's so weird. Trigger an elemental reaction increases elemental mastery by 120 for 12 seconds. Reaction damage 32%. Yeah, very straightforward. This is a really strong weapon. Holy shit. And then she is also on the Dids set, Disenchant. Damage set, same as Androna. That's correct. Can't be wrong. 110. I don't believe she gets the full 110 because there's a little bit of fall off here and there. And then 20% attack, 18 seconds. Counting hit lag, it's pretty much full uptime. I think, more or less. Yeah. 50%. Reaction damage bonus. It's from Chi-Chi. Let's see. What do we got here? How did I count this before? Count the uptime. This is E-Tick. 12 E-Tick. This is with the A1 buff, right? This is additional damage with the quills. That's just like a bigger multiplier. Yai is passive. New Alyosha would be worse, but Nicole is more fun with Arlecchino Hex Vape as opposed to Sandrone, so I wanted a replacement that didn't feel a lot worse. That's fine. Also, keep in mind, Odette C2 is very good. So even if getting like C6 Alyosha is not all that, Odette C2 is good, and those two can only be attained together. You cannot choose one or the other, right? So don't feel too bad about it. You know, even if Alyosha's not the greatest, Odette's good. Odette C2 is very good. So you don't have to feel bad. Do I... rude question? No, it's not a rude question. Do I plan to upload more videos in Snezhnaya? I mean, if I have time, yeah, I would. There's a couple ideas I have. I think they would be interesting. So basically, what I'll just upload things that I find interesting. And unfortunately, the last time that happened was like Moika combos. It's like whatever I find interesting. Like I'll probably do a video at some point on free characters because we have so many good free characters now. You got your Mona, like I was mainly thinking Mona Sucrose. Like Mona Sucrose is such a blessing to the F2P community, or just like a lot of characters in general. I want to do something on that, and then there's a couple videos I can. I'm definitely gonna do something on the Tsaritsa because she's just too good, too cool. But yeah, like I will not be uploading every day, but when I have something interesting, like I always make sure if I do a video on something, it's gonna be like an absolute banger. Okay, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I need to be interested. I need to know that it's gonna be good. And yes, there's definitely a couple I want to do in Snezhnaya. But it could be just a couple, it could be more. I'm not sure. Odette C2 isn't happening. IDK, why I enjoy hypothetical, vertical. Unfortunate. It is very good. Wait, why did I cut this out? Oh, this is a couple hits that don't get the Chi-Chi buff. Okay, that's fine. Wait, that's kind of underestimating it a little bit, isn't it? Nah, it's probably fine. SC, this is the... Which one is this? E... Stellar Conda. Oh, that's the main hit. It misses 2 hits? Really? Was I not selling it short? Okay, so it's a 15-second uptime, 20-second rotation. Okay, yeah, I might be missing 2 hits. Is it missing 2 hits though? Okay, you know what? Let's do it like this. Let's do it in an even simpler way. This is E-cast, right? Let's get rid of this. So it's what? 14 hits here. 7 hits here. And then 7 hits here. And then you got your cast. And then we'll simply reduce. We'll simply reduce this number here. So 20%. You only get 18 seconds of coverage, so it'll just be 18%. Why not? And then 50%, you miss. You only get 15 seconds of coverage on this, so... Well, maybe a little bit more, like 14. In practice, it might be a bit more. 50%, so... Let's run 40%. When? Oh shit. I fucked something up. Run 40%. That's not too bad. It's fair, Genshin's become quite boring to me in terms of combat. Like aside from Hex stuff, which is interesting, yeah. Doesn't work for ping players because Mona swaps don't work. RIP, I guess that's true. You don't need like crazy good ping for it. You just need like workable ping for it. And I realize some people don't have workable ping, so RIP. This is pretty good. Oh wait, no. Battle Pass weapon needs you to do a charge attack. Yeah, ain't nobody doing that on this team. You have Yai doing a lot of damage. And then Odette got changed quite a bit here. And to make sure to get that. 0 Odette. Wing. Odette's damage, or her multipliers changed a lot. That I remember. Alright, how goated is this character now? Moved from Asia to Europe, my ping is dead. Ew, shit. I can imagine. Wait, what the fuck? Huh? Where did... Oh. Right. That's the 1.85. That's the stellar field. Can't forget about that. And now this got buffed to 550%. Jesus fuck. Boom. Look at that number. Holy shit. E-cast. What is this? 55%. Where did that come from? I'm so confused. Why did I decide it's 55%? Oh, because 5% for her off-field damage. Ah, that's what I thought of. So it's actually 60%. That's so scuffed. Why did I do it like this? 60%. Okay, I guess it makes sense. It's just that's just 60% then. And then yeah, these are averaged out. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Was this the only part of her kit that got buffed? Or the only part of her multipliers that got buffed? Or was the other parts also buffed? This plume. Did plume also get buffed? No, it didn't. Neither did wing. Right. So that's all correct. What is this? This is the hits without... Oh, because there's a big hit here. Okay. So these are hits without tenacity and without the Chi-Chi buff. That must have been in it. This one has the Chi-Chi has the tenacity, but no Chi-Chi buff. Okay, I remember now. So this should be correct. And then this got buffed. She is using the Traveler weapon on this team. 14. 882. Jesus, that's a high number. Surely it's better if you... No, it's not. 882. Okay. That makes sense. And then technically Chi-Chi does a tiny bit of damage as well. Odette. No, Chi-Chi doesn't do damage. And she doesn't do reaction damage either. Is Chi-Chi damage good? Like actually significant to build for? Before C6, absolutely not. At C6, maybe. Yeah, please do not build Chi-Chi for damage before C6. Because she doesn't do any. Cry damage bonus just has a little attack buff from herself. And unlike lunar reactions, you don't really gain anything from building attack on Chi-Chi like you would have in lunar teams, because there is a resonance, like a Outlander or like a non-Nod Cry resonance that scales from like these non-Nod Cry characters' base stats. Unfortunately, that's not a thing for Snezhnaya or for stellar reactions. The racist passive, yeah, there is no racist passive in Snezhnaya. So Chi-Chi, like her build, like literally doesn't matter. Pretty much. Well, you do want to build a bit of crit rate to like this is way too many stats, like, and this is just my standard, but in reality you will not be building her like this. You would just put on a crit rate circlet and call it a day. And put her on Favonius. You don't even need to burst on her. But yeah. That said, I think something's wrong here. Wait, why is there only one white one white particle? It should be 3, no? The fuck? So where did I get this from? 7 seconds. 13. Oh, right. That's correct. So Sandrone actually gets one. It's one Favonius proc. So she can actually build a little bit more. One less ER sub. And one more attack sub. So it's a little bit more damage. And Chi-Chi doesn't do damage. Okay, so at 3 cost, oh shit, we're getting 244k DPS. That sounds about accurate, actually. We have Sandrone's burst hitting 667k damage, and each of her charge attack ticks doing 135k damage. That sounds about correct. Yeah, and then we have the E also doing around 130k. I believe this, yeah, that sounds totally reasonable with Odette. It's extremely strong. But that sounds about right. Do you see the Tsaritsa's design in the trailer? Of course. She looks very beautiful. Like, I love the detail in her design. And this is... Like, remember how, like, Sandrone got... It doesn't matter whether you liked or disliked, like, her skirt redesign or whatever. But, like, she definitely got more details in her design when she became playable. I expect Tsaritsa to also gain some details when she becomes playable. Like, her modeling game is going to be insane. We already know that. Really excited for her, but I'm going to kill myself because the detached sleeves really annoy me. Whatever. She got her, she got the fur coat to cover it up. Surely. Yeah. Okay, so that's 3 cost Sandrone. C0 R0 using the craftable weapon. That's fucking insane. 244. And I just want to check a couple things. So, first of all, I want to check whether a different weapon on Odette would be better. Actually, let's check it on Yai. No, there's no way Yai doesn't use the craftable. Yai's gonna use the craftable. But Odette, I'm on the Traveler Sword right now. There's a possibility that the Fontaine craftable is actually better. I highly doubt it, but it is technically possible. But so I just want to check real quick. Weapons. Finale of the Deep. So, it's what? 565 base. 27. How much attack? So it's equals 27.6% plus 24% attack, as well as some flat attack equals 25% of max HP equals 0.25 of her max HP. And we have to actually give her HP stats, or find her HP base stat, which is a little bit annoying, but she has this much base HP. Wait, what the fuck? Huh? That's not right. Hold on. Is it 2.5%? Oh no. Oh, it's 4.8%. Oh my god, that's 4.8%, not 25%. 4.8%. What the fuck? And then divided by 4. Right. So, what, 25% times 4.8%? Ah, there we go. So that gives her a total stat of, okay, so you're definitely want crit rate circlet then. 13, 16, 4. Oh shit, that is better than Traveler's Sword. That's actually a lot better than Traveler's Sword. How the fuck did they get that the Traveler's Sword is better than Finale then? Well, let's change that then. R5 Finale of the I'll just do FOTD. Surely people will know what that is. Of course they will. FOTD, attack, crit rate. Odette and Yai. Is this Yai running crit damage? Yeah, she is. I guess she has a crit rate ascension, huh? Chi-Chi, attack damage, crit rate. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Just want the crit rate. 246. Oh my god. And yeah, Sandrona is doing about half the team's damage. Yai doing 30%. Odette doing 18%. And Chi-Chi obviously not really doing damage. Like, even this is a higher number than we'll actually get. Because, like, you shouldn't be building her in practice. Let me see this. And she have better aura, man. I missed the right and error, I agree. Is Odette plus the Stellar set that strong? Yes, it's very strong. Also, I calc at a higher standard than, like, other calcs you see floating around. Like, they have this team at around 200k. Or, like, maybe, like, 180k. I do talent level 10, they do talent level 9, and I do better artifacts. I do 30 freely distributed rolls. So that makes, like, 33, 34 rolls total. They run 20 distributed rolls only. So that gives, what, 20 plus... so that's, like, 28 rolls for them. They're using 28 subs, I'm doing 34 subs. And I also run talent level 10. They run talent level 9. Because it's a lot higher than what can get relative to my cost, I mean. What do you mean? We don't have Odette in game yet. Like, we don't know. You can't test what you're gonna get. And there's an actual name for this weapon now. I want to make sure I get it right. It's called Echoes of the Heart. R5. Echoes. Echoes Heart. Echoes of the Heart. It's incredible. Sandrona, and then what else did I want to check? Sandrona. Oh right, I wanted to check Traveler. That's gonna be a pain, because that's gonna be a pain. Because I don't actually know the Traveler that well. Huh. Okay. We'll go CMC. And we'll do... T10, you should always do T10. What the fuck is wrong with them? Crowns are free, and then you get Mora and talent books just by playing the game. CMC. Okay, so what would the CMC R3 XI Fanes. Is that what it's called? Diddy set. Dids. Yai, Odette, Chi-Chi. That's probably the team, right? Although... hold on. What would this be? I guess this would be 2 cost. We'll do the 2 cost team first. It's never echoes of an offering. Oh, echoes of an offering. That's the set, right? Yeah, well, this is the weapon. It's the craftable. It's called Echoes of the Heart. And then, which is really funny because there's a sword called Finale of the Deep, and then there's an artifact set called Finale of Deep Galleries. Echoes of an offering. True. R5 echoes. And then, so this is a really bare balls. And no, this would be 3 cost because you're running Yai. What am I doing? Wait, no, it would be 2 cost because CMC is free, right? CMC is free. So yeah, let's try to see what it does. That's annoying. So what do I need to change for this? Okay. Let's see. Traveler. Wait, shortly they have to have Traveler in the database, right? Huh? Oh, they do. Okay. Oh, wait. Traveler got, base stat buffs at some point. Are these in the database? They should be, right? Both used by Skirk. True. Finale of the Deep Pilled. Indeed. 6 of it. Okay, so I'm just running the weapon. And unlike before, the weapon actually has a passive. Let's see what we got. Exiphane's Blade. It's very simple, just 33. Let's clear these first. Traveler doesn't really necessarily have anything fancy. Just 24% attack for Ascension. No crit rate. And I think for this team, 18% or 90% cryo resonance uptime. Seems reasonable, maybe? Oh, let's do this first. EEE. Actually don't know what the rotation would be for DPS Traveler. Be like E. Into C. Q. Into C or something. Let me see. Let's see if DPS Traveler. What do you think of the new characters added to Temper Thy Fate? Well, Risley got... Well, I mean, his C1 doesn't do much, but his C2 is incredible. And, like, having a free C1 essentially makes his C2 the price of a C1, which is really good. That C2, I think saying it's good is massively underselling it. It's the best C2 in the game. It's the biggest increase from a C2 in the game. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Actually, okay, let me see what rotation you could run with this. Yeah, you definitely run Chi-Chi. Yeah, I still run this team. Chi-Chi, Yae, Odette. That's Chi-Chi, Odette, Yae. And it should be a short rotation. Very short rotation, because there's no reason to run a long rotation like this. The longest cooldown is Chi-Chi's E. Might as well do Chi-Chi E first then. Chi, Odette. Now, I guess the only thing I would think about is like energy. Do I want to think about feeding Odette's energy to the Traveler? I think I would. Because Odette does energy on casts, right? That's kind of rare. And that I really want to feed into the Traveler, because then I could just build no energy on Traveler. And then the actual combo would be E, I guess 2. I'll just use TGS's combo. 2 into C. And then into Q. Sure, bro, I'll trust you on that one. Into Q and into C again. Sure. I believe that. And then this, I feel like, and it would be only a 15-second rotation because you're just running it on Chi-Chi's cooldown. Okay. So attack crit damage on the disenchant set. Chi-Chi on tenacity, and Yai on also on this. Odette on the support set, of course. That makes perfect sense. Well, we'll just run it like this. And obviously don't look at this number. Don't look at this number, because this is still Sandrone's multipliers. He will not be using Sandrone's multipliers. In fact, let me delete this. So we don't give the wrong screenshots. Okay, Xianyun in the new list, pick up C2 if C2 made her worth using. Xiao is not great. He might get buffed. That's something that could happen, I guess. And gaming is evil, sure. Odette doesn't use burst. Nope, Odette does not use burst. Her burst technically buffs her damage a little bit, but it's not good. Although, I am curious. For a team like this, like, as soon as you use Traveler's main charge attack that gets buffed by his thing, right? And you use his burst, he really doesn't gain that much from doing more. It doesn't really gain that much from doing more things on field, does he? So could it be worth it to use Odette's burst instead? I still doubt it, because in order to use Odette's burst, you have to... If you use Odette's burst, you have to build ER on her. And that's probably not worth it. Yeah, that's my guess, but we could still check. Okay, now let's find his multipliers. Oh, he got a bunch of miscellaneous buffs, didn't he? That I don't really remember. He got 2 base attack increases. I assume 212 is the final correct base. Actually, here, let me look it up. Traveler base attack buff. It's 222. Oh, his base attack is 222 now. I think his base attack is 222. I believe. Which is crazy to say because... Okay, it's 212 normally. So what is his final base attack? Double cryo, double electro sounds like a good amount of energy. Oh, I forgot electro resonance was a thing. Oh, although you don't have electro resonance in this team because Alyosha sucks. You just run Chi-Chi instead. Hope most of the characters don't get stellar or lunar buffs, but hexrite type buffs because like I appreciate Yai and like this use, but I wanted to use her with Raiden, but that's not yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Although Raiden could also get stellar buffs and it would make sense. Okay. So I'm gonna assume that his actual base attack is 222 at the end, because that sounds right. 222, because you get it a little bit of a buff from Archon quests, right? Chi-Chi is a better battery. That's not even a joke anymore. Chi-Chi is a better battery. Speaking of battery, let's do the energy first. So CMC gets the... Okay, so Yai gives her a little bit of energy from off field. Probably does not take much field time at all. Okay, let's see. Chi-Chi, Yai, Odette. Sandrone, let's say... Okay, so for this team, it's a 20-second rotation. Sandrone takes like 13, 14 seconds, right? 14... 9... Let's say Traveler takes 9 seconds on field. Even that sounds long. But that sounds about right. Say Traveler takes 9 seconds on field, why not? So 0.36, that's Yai's number, obviously. 9 seconds on field and 6 seconds off field, sure. And then we get a Favonius proc from Chi-Chi. And what is his actual... He probably doesn't need energy anyway. Oh, although he doesn't really generate much energy himself. So, I guess maybe he could need some energy. Chi-Chi generates 6 particles over the rotation. I expect him to catch like maybe 2. Maybe 4. Let's say he catches 4. How much energy does he generate himself? I'm curious. Don't tell me he doesn't generate energy. Huh? Wait, what the hell? Why is there no data on Lunaris? Are we serious? The fact that Electro Archon can't even do every Electro reaction. C2 right and Def Ignore. They could just always add a second effect to it. They would do like a C6 and change it. Yeah. Exactly. Just make it have like 200 crit damage or something. Instead of the Def Shred. Or in addition to the Def Ignore. I still don't know how much energy Traveler generates. Because it kind of doesn't say here. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. Or if you guys know, please let me know. Cryo, Traveler, Energy. Okay, I'm gonna ask someone. Flip is obviously not responding. I'll just ask in a group chat, I guess. Let me see if it's on Amber. Oh, and the Traveler also has the exact same passive and Sendron. That's kind of funny. That's really funny, actually. Although they have a much lower base attack, so it might not be full. Let me read this. And, of course, this is not 1. This is 0.5. We'll remember to remember that later. Because he only buffs by 7%, right? Not 14. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna guess whatever it is. It's not very high. Because the 60 cost burst. It's a 60 cost burst. You for sure get the 5 energy that Odette gives on field. And then Chi-Chi, like bare balls minimum, you're gonna get 4. 4 from Chi-Chi, and then you get 2 from Chi-Chi from off field. Oh shit. 2 from Chi-Chi from off field, and then whatever his own energy gen is, you will not need to build any ER anyway. So we'll just keep it at that. Exiphane's Blade. Passives, I don't know if you can get to maxed out ER. Weapon gives a ton of crit rate. 36.1. Also gives more things on top of that, which is really crazy. Exiphane's Blade, R3. When the Traveler equips this, the crit damage increased by 6% for every element they have resonated with. How many elements is that? Is that 7? So Animo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, Cryo. That's 7. It is 7. So what? It's 6. 42 crit damage. Are you serious? That's insane. Oh, and also they have they received a bunch of random buffs, didn't they? The Traveler. Strength has resonated with now. Grants an additional enhancements. Yes, I remember that. Can't forget that. So new strength and power from the past. So it's 10 crit rate. Def doesn't really matter here. Oh, and yeah, they get 20 ER for free. Okay. So yeah, it's 10 crit rate. How much is it? 10 crit rate, 20 ER. 60 EM, 20 ER. Alright, 20 attack. Crit damage as well. Is that all the ones that matter? 20 crit damage, 20 attack, 60 EM, 10 crit rate. Yeah, I think that's it. That's crazy. That's so much stats. To the point that we're like way over capped on crit rate now. Wait, you can't even run 13. You can only run 10. We're overcapped on stats. So what do you do now? You just run EM? That's actually kind of insane. And then, yeah, there's one more passive as well. Because they have the EM passive. How much attack do we have? I guess not enough to overcap, but... plus... 0.8 per times this number. Wait, no. Traveler's attack will also increase by 24%. Regenerate. Yeah, okay, it's 0 year. That's full buffs. Okay, so next you probably have the E-cast. I don't remember how this character works. E-cast, and then there's a big Q damage. CA, let's say. Probably a big burst damage, right? Then CA, if memory serves, it hits twice, maybe? So there's 3 of these. What are the multipliers? So, right. A stellar conduct, the frost pierced star will no longer fire ice crystals. Opponents at intervals, but will instead fire an ice crystal at opponents in a coordinated attack when the traveler hits an opponent with a normal attack, charged attack, or plunging attack. This effect can trigger every 0.2 seconds, so basically every hit. When an opponent is hit with an ice crystal, the traveler gains 1 stack of frost glow. When not, okay, that makes sense. And the burst is just a huge burst. Nuke damage. Directs them, okay. So up to 8 stacks of frost glow, you definitely will be maxing this here. When 8 stacks of frost glow are consumed, the number of damage instances okay. Damage, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I don't fully remember what this character does. Normal attack are converted to cryo damage, cannot be overridden by another elemental infusion. Is increased by 80%, okay. And how many stacks would this be? Is 9 stacks overestimating it? Nah, that's probably fine, right? Okay, I might need to look that up as well. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, Chi-Chi is 2 stacks. Yai is 1.5. So what, 3.5? Odette was how many? 1.5. Odette was like 2, right? 5.5. And Traveler on field is... We might have to lower this to like 8. Oh, there's a bunch of casting also applies elements, and obviously the shorter the rotation is, the more important that is. Or the more meaningful that is. So maybe averaging at 9 is not that much of a scam. Especially like some parts with high multipliers, like his burst would hit for at a higher stack count. This is really hard to estimate. That's annoying. I guess I'll ask around later. But okay, I think I'm understanding Traveler now. It's just very straightforward. So yeah, it's the base damage bonus. We already included that. And additionally, a nearby character gains 1 stack of ice point. 1 stack of ice point every 2 seconds, max 3 stacks. When unleashes a charge attack at 3 stacks of ice point, all stacks are consumed to change the charge attack to a special charge attack freezing ice. This can only happen once every rotation. Is increased by 140% if crowd damage dealt is increased by 2 points of frost glow. What was frost glow again? What was that? Oh, right. Each normal attack can only give you 1 stack of Frost Glow. Each normal charge attack, I mean. Can be unleashed once every 15 seconds. The bonus damage from Ascension Talent does not apply to charge attack freezing ice. Okay. Damage from charge attack is Stellar Glimmer. Okay, that's very straightforward. I like it. Let's just plug in the multipliers then. So yeah, so E-cast is a normal non-stellar damage. It's very straightforward. Attack scaling only hits once, barely does damage. E-cast, and then we have an E-tick as well that we want to include for sure. E-ticks barely do damage. It's the ice crystals. Very low multiplier. And they hit how many times? No longer follows your party members. Hey Ravel, give me a second. Let me read this first. This effect can trigger once every 0.2 seconds. So what? The combo we're using is this. So how many hits is that? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess it hits 11 times. Sure. It barely does damage anyway. Ravel, do you know if Nicole C2 plus C6 Prune with no Durin is Varka's best equalized investment team? Here's the thing, right? C2 Nicole is better than C2 Durin. But for equalized investment, I think... Are we sure we can actually expect Prune to run with Nicole again? Because there's reason to believe that like Prune's gonna run with Varka, but Varka can only have one of his main supports next to him on rerun, and Prune is gonna be on that banner. So is that gonna be Durin or is it gonna be Nicole? Because if it is Nicole, then obviously C2 Nicole plus C6 Prune is the way to go. But like, what if Nicole doesn't run with Prune? Because there's 3 characters that thematically make sense to run with Prune. What if it's Durin instead? But yes, like surely, like if you're doing the forecast thing, yeah, surely, assuming Nicole runs with Prune, it would be C2 Nicole. C2 Nicole is very strong. We both like how Eatluel was with both Linnea and Zubai's banner. Yeah, but Linnea, or Zubai and Linnea had a couple... there were a couple patches between those two, and it was their first banner. On rerun, I think it's very possible that all 3 rerun in the same patch, just to screw you over. And oh, imagine if like, if actually they run Varka next to Durin, and then that banner gets Prune. Nicole doesn't get Prune. That'd be so sad, but I could see it happening. But yes, I do believe. I'm not super versed on Varka myself, but I logically speaking, it should be Prune C2 Nicole. That makes the most sense. Okay, 11 E-ticks. That's 4 of these, 4 of these. And then we have this special charge attack. Wait. Let's get the actual multipliers here. Yo, this guy actually does a lot of damage. Holy shit. And I'm using Ether's multipliers because for some reason... I might be tripping. But for some reason, I feel like Nicole has a higher multiplier somewhere than Ether. And I'm a little bit afraid to check. That's 87%. plus, I think, 80, right? That's what the passive was. And then N2 is 85.85%. It's 4 of these, and these get the crowd damage bonus here. Lumina's faster and I think has a higher base attack. What the hell? That's so unfair for us Ether players. And then charge attack. This is the special charge attack. Doesn't actually get buffed by this. Charge attack is a double hit. Equals this multiplier, and then is plus 140% of the travelers. I'm just gonna split it. Okay. What, 140% of his attack? SC 1. This is the first. Or charge attack A. Why not? And then this is the direct lunar or direct stellar damage, 7% increase from himself, and it hits once. What else does it have? Frost glow. Yeah, this max is frost glow, obviously. All stacks are consumed. Increased by 140%. 127. Yeah, that looks like a reasonable amount of damage. Oh wait, no, but this gets increased by the stellar. This gets increased by the stellar field. So, at 9 stacks average, which is what I'm assuming for this team, I don't remember how accurate that is. It's probably accurate. That's 1.85 times. That gives... Holy shit, that's a big number. Because there's also a charge attack. There's also the second part of that charge attack that does even slightly more damage than that. Oh, that's huge. Plus 140. That's a big chunky buy. One charge attack doing almost 500,000 damage. Is that right? It has to be. That's crazy. And then you have, of course, the normal charge attack as well. That is not stellar damage. That's just oh shit. Plus 80%. That's plus 80%. I'll add it here as well. Plus 80%, plus 80%. That's just the normal charge attack number. And that hits, how many times? You do 4 charge attacks. And then the burst. That's also a big hunk of damage. The number of instances. Additional frost glow attack strikes at max stacks, so it hits 5 times. Stellar swirl. Stellar conduct. Frost glow damage bonus. What does that mean? Consumes... Increases the damage dealt by this elemental burst. That's multiplicative, right? Of course it is. It has to be. Q... equals, this is the base multiplier, times, what is this? 8 times 3.31% damage bonus. Wait, no, 8. Hold on, 8 times 1 plus... yeah, percent. There we go. How big is this number? Wait, I might be tripping balls. This is wrong. Times hold on, 1 plus 8 times, okay, 3.31%. There we go. That makes more. So is that right? Right. That makes sense. Times this. This is the field damage. And obviously, this is wrong. This is so blatantly wrong. Oh, no, never mind. It's right. It's right. I have a random multiplier here for it because it's Sandrone. And this hits 5 times. This is 5 times. Wow. And I feel like I'm still forgetting something. Okay, let's check. 5 energy. Yeah, it's infinite energy. Active characters elemental mastery is increased by 60%. For 5 seconds. Well, I guess he gets this his own 60 EM. When a character affected triggers or deals, I guess it's 120 now. And obviously the other ones will go down because the short field time is shorter. But that's 1.35 million DPR. Okay, it's like a little bit more than half Sandronis for shorter field time. Wow. That's still really good. Very interesting. And this is only at C2. Okay, let's adjust the other characters. So first of all, this instantly becomes full field time. Like this is... all of this is full field time. And yeah, 50 damage % for herself. All of this is full field time. And she does not get the Traveler's buff, which is okay. And it's way fewer hits. Okay, so it's 15 seconds. Her E hits, so what? It's like 13.5 divided by 2.9. How many is that? It's 4 or 5. Hits 5 waves. 5 waves, so that's 10. 5 buffed, and then 5 stellar conduct. And this is only 0.5, because Traveler only gives the 7% base damage buff, not the full 14%. And this should all be correct. And these should remain the exact same. Just doing... Okay, I should separate these. Move the burst out of the way. Although, you know what? This cast should get the 120 EM from from Traveler. Not that it really matters, but we'll add it here. It's not super important. Great, the rest. And Yae is on the craftable as she was before. We'll separate these. You have the charge attack doing 500,000 damage, or the burst doing 600,000 damage, which is ridiculous. This is all of his damage, by the way, more or less, which almost leads me to believe charge is only 3. You only get 3 charge attacks. And oh, also these stellar, man, this should only be 10 because one of the charge attacks doesn't trigger it, right? 8. That's more than that. It's actually more than that. It should be 11. Should be 11. Wait, are there new leaks on Voldianita? Well, there's no beta leaks yet. Hello Grimmy, by the way. But allegedly, she's Hydro, and she's a Stellar Swirl dedicated support, which makes about as much sense as a Pyro Nefer support. I don't know what they're cooking, but basically every source we've seen ever has suggested that she's going to be a Stellar Swirl support. And she shreds defense, has certain quills. Oh, she doesn't shred defense. She shreds resistance, has quills, and is mainly dedicated towards Stellar Swirl as a Hydro character. What? What are we talking about, man? And she doesn't even have a linchpin. Well, she's Hydro. She's not going to have a linchpin. But it's just a very confusing situation. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's just a Nilou moment. And she applies 0 Hydro. All she does is apply buffs. But like, why did they make her Hydro then? Hello, Ombakasor. She could have alternate application like Nicole's Burst. They probably made her Hydro to prevent Stellar Varkachaska. Yeah. Sure. Like, if she is indeed Stellar Swirl, she would either have to like change the reaction completely or just doesn't apply Hydro. Apply 0 units. In which case, sure, but she's not really a Hydro character at that point. Okay, let's adjust these. So, I did... Okay, so if we're doing like this, and Traveler has infinite energy anyway, we don't need to do Odette here. Let's do Odette early. So Odette gets the Traveler buff. So Odette EE from Traveler's passive. Right? Yae cast and then Chi-Chi. E here. Odette, Odette, Odette. And then we have to change this as well, of course. Wait, Odette has no passive here? Maybe she doesn't. She doesn't have any self-buff passives. Other than, obviously, the one that buffs her E-cast. I think so. That's the case. And then Odette gets these. Chi-Chi. 20. Chi-Chi. Namiko. Full uptime. And then CMC. 120. We'll apply the 120 EM to her E-cast. I think she should get it, right? E-cast. This should 0.5 now, because it's only a 7% increase. And then 120 EM from Traveler's passive. Oh shit, it's just 120 here. Leaks was way back for Not Cry on an alternate Swirl Bloom Animo character. Maybe that was reworked. Yeah, it's possible. E-cast. Then Plume, this should hit way fewer times. Plume Wing, it hits every... Was it every second or every other second? Hold on, let me count. So one... Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 plus is just 10. So yeah, it hits every 2 seconds, I think. So what? It hits a total of maybe 4 times each. Plume. That low-key makes no sense. 4. Maybe it's only 3 times. I don't know how fast the first one comes out. But usually in cases like this, you get 4 instead of 3. And these are all obsolete, of course, obviously. And this is only 0.5. Okay, so let's say if it only hits 4 times, and this should not be that big of a difference maker. It's just this does a lot of damage. These, at the end of the day, are not super important. How much damage would she get if she's like this? 863, that's so high. And then obviously Chi-Chi doesn't do damage, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Chi-Chi's just Chi-Chi, I guess. And that makes Traveler, that looks so wrong. That is so much DPS. There's no way this is real. What do you mean 220k DPS? This looks so incredibly wrong. Let me figure out where I went wrong with this. Because these numbers don't look real. What the fuck? What did I do? This looks so fake. Is his writing fire? What do you mean? So CMC might just be the GOAT like that? I know he's the GOAT, but not that much of the GOAT. Because this... Like, this would make him better than Sandrone if we equalize cost. Because right now, I have 3 cost Sandrone at like 246k. And this kid, at C2 by the way, not even C6, is like almost there. And that's not possible. Like, that's way too high of a number. I just don't believe this. And they... Okay, well, hold on. Let me try to do this even a little bit more scientifically. Okay, so 5 glimmer damage. How much glimmer damage does this kid do? Let's say it triggers twice and it's another 10 recharge. So it's like 20. And then what if we don't give him Odette's energy? It's still maxed. Okay, I don't believe this. Cause like these numbers are ridiculous. What did I do wrong? That's what I'm concerned with. Cause I don't think this is possible. ECAS, yeah, all of this, even if I get it wrong, doesn't matter. Cause like these are negligible numbers, right? It's just a charge attack. 2 of the charge attacks. Now, let me confirm it's not just one instance. It still hits twice. Charged attack, freezing ice. Because that for sure, I think, is a second... Like, that is a 2-hit. It is very much a 2-hit. It's two damage instances. I don't know what else to say. 140%, yeah, that's 140%, alright. After Traveler's attack, what did I do? Yeah, that's the base multiplier, 140%. This is the Stellar Field. That can't be wrong. That's correct. 140%. It is very much a 2-hit. And that translated to stellar damage is, in fact, 500,000 damage per charge attack. That is real. And the burst, same thing. This, buffed by 8 stacks of the frost something, what is it called? Frost glow, is in fact this multiplier. It doesn't even look that insane. And after hitting 5 times, that's just 600,000 damage. That's just a really high number. Maybe it's on the supports that's wrong? Or maybe these are wrong. Do I have like random Sandrone stats in here that doesn't belong on the Traveler? That's the resonance, that can't be wrong. That's the damage percent from the Stellar Field. That can't be wrong. Passives, that's his own innate buffs. That can't be wrong. Actually, let me put it here instead. Nah, that's part of the passives. Part of the passives. EM, 60 is from the buff. 160 is from his own A4 passive, I think. That's right. 20 recharge. That's right. 20 recharge. 10 crit rate. 20 crit damage. The weapon gives him 24% attack, 42% crit damage, and what else does it do? Does it have a third effect? And then regenerates 5 energy. Yeah, I have that added. That's correct. Set bonus, that can't be wrong. C2, that's his own one of his own passives. What is it called? That's his own that's his own C1 or C2. That's his own C2. That can't be wrong. C1 Yaimiko does indeed give 50% damage bonus. Odette does in fact give 60% damage bonus and then 50% more damage bonus. That's from the set. That can't be wrong. Chi-Chi does in fact give 50% bonus and 20% from tenacity. That is in fact correct. And that's all correct. So the only logical conclusion you can draw from that is that he is in fact the GOAT. Hold on. He is the GOAT. Okay. We're not over yet. We know the Traveler's personal damage is correct. But maybe Yai and Odette are doing too much damage on this team than what is like actually possible in practice. He's not off the hook yet. Maybe I added an extra base damage bonus somewhere. Because we have to be scientific when it comes to this. We can't be cost chesting. We can't be bat chesting. We have to be honest, truthful, and honest. Hold on. Let's look at this. Okay, so this is Yaimiko. Her stats can't be wrong. This is her Ascension passive, and that's the Cryo Resonance. That can't be wrong. That's the damage percent from the field. That's right. This is her own damage. This is her own A4 passive, I think. That can't be wrong. It's the weapon. The weapon is what it is. It's a very good craftable weapon. Set bonus. Like, these should all be correct. And then, yeah, I already didn't. I gave Traveler some A4 passive. That's pretty reasonable, I think. Her own passive and these other characters' passives, like, that's all correct. Now it's the damage instances. Is 15 ticks too aggressive for 15 seconds? Because it ticks every 2.9 seconds, right? So what, hold on, let's just make sure. 15 minus 1.5, that's how long it takes for the first one to come out. It's 13.5 divided by 2.9 seconds per wave. So yeah, that is absolutely 5 waves. That's 5 waves. That's just correct. So 5 times 3, that's 15 hits. 15 Yai hits per 15 seconds. Like, that can't be wrong. That's 15. And then every other... and then there's 5 total stellar conduct hits. Why is it doing 150,000 damage? Is that normal for Yaimiko? Is she built like this? Like, is 150k tick ridiculous, or does that sound like correct? I think that sounds correct. That's not even like outlandish. So yeah, this is just correct. And then Odette. Same stuff. This can't be wrong. Yeah, this is just like very normal stuff. 55, I only give herself 5% of her own passive. Just get 1 stack. Actually, it might be better than that. So it's 15 seconds. What? So 15 seconds minus, so what? It's 15 seconds, right? Field time for a 15 second rotation. Minus 4 seconds it takes for her thing to go out. No, I think this is right. Like, this can't be that wrong. This is gonna be correct. And these barely do damage anyway. Although this is 4 hits. Is 4 hits too optimistic? Because it's only 15 seconds, so it's 8 hits total. It should take 16 seconds to do this. Let's be pessimistic. Right? Wing. So plume first, wing. So this should only hit 3 times, not 4. Probably obvious if you're using Sucrose your 4th slot, her buffs shouldn't be 100% uptime. I'm not using Sucrose, I'm using Chi-Chi. Her buffs are 100% uptime. And there's no shred. it's normal resistance because we're not using Sucrose. Sucrose is danker, I know. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I want to do dank Sucrose. Because Sucrose, I know if you optimize it perfectly, it should be stronger. But Chi-Chi's also free and she's a healer, so... For now, that's just more preferred. Yeah, okay, so this is one slight error. It should not have been 16 hits. It should have been 15 hits. Or... yeah, something like that. Or not... or 7 hits? 7 hits. Yeah. 7 hits, rather than 8 hits. And Chi-Chi obviously doesn't do damage, so like whatever her thing is, it doesn't even matter. So what do we get? We get 220,000 DPS. Okay. Notes broken. This is insane. Now I'm actually confident in these numbers. Oh, unless this is inflated. Average field stacks. I'm assuming 9 right now. 9 might be high. Because, okay, Chi-Chi, 2 average, no questions asked. Odette, 2 average, no questions asked. Yai, 1.5 average, no questions asked. That's 5.5. And then Traveler, can they contribute 3.5 average? Along with the casts of Odette and Yai. Can Traveler do 3.5 average? I don't think so. They can probably do 2.5 average because they're on field and they're attacking. So how many apps? Let's check. So how many hits total? So what? That's 1. That's 8. And there's 6 more of these. So 14 hits. 14 hits. Oh wait, no. There's these ticks as well. Okay, this is not... Okay, let's calculate this. So 14 hits. 14 hits. So let's say that's 5 apps across 9 seconds. 5 apps, and then 6 from the E-cast. 6 apps, and then another, let's say, 4. 10 apps across 11. That's so fast. 10 apps across 11 seconds. So 3.5. Yeah, that is accurate. 3.5 on field, but this guy could also be off field. So 9 average stacks. But it's not full, like that long of a field time. The stellar field updates every 4 seconds, right? Yeah. 4 stacks, pretty much, when he's on field. So what? 4 plus 5. That's actually 9.5 stacks when he's on field, average. And let's say when he goes off field, you lose some of that. But when he's off field, you're casting on Odette and Yai. So it probably wouldn't even be that much less. You know what? 9 stacks average is correct. That is reasonable. Holy fuck, he's broken. Okay, this is insane. Now let's see what happens if we when he C6. Oh boy. R5X, he feigns. Hope he makes it through to live. Yeah, me too. Because like they could always pull a Nefer minus 100 EM. Or like something way more extreme. Oh, whoops. His damage actually got halved. Because we realized his multipliers were... we accidentally doubled his multipliers. Let's divide them by half now. Oh, wait. He has too many passives. Let's delete all of them. I could see it happening. Okay, C6, CMC. So what else does he get from Constellations? The duration of Frost Star created by Elemental Skill is increased by 25%. Oh. Wait. Did I overcook his Elemental Skill duration? No, it's 12 seconds. It's not even short. Huh? Wait, what's dependent on his skill being active? What numbers do we have to... It's 12 seconds. That's like his entire field time and then some. Is one of his constellations dependent on that? The active character's elemental mastery is increased by 60% for 5 seconds when the opponent is hit by an ice crystal fired by... Yeah? That makes sense. Additionally, when a character is affected by the... Okay, so it literally changes nothing. Okay, so his C4 does nothing. Okay. Fine by me. Okay, let's look at the weapon effect first then. What is it at R5? Oh, wait, it's not that broken. It's just a little bit more attack. Okay, it's just 40 attack. That's not crazy. This just goes to 40%. And then his multipliers increase. Hold on, I saw your question in chat. I'll read it in a second. Oh, I get what I did wrong now. There's a lower multiplier. Okay, let me read this. Wait, this is a side question since I'm watching this as I build my Yai. Does she use Attack Goblet in these SSC teams? Yes, that is correct. I'll show you. So for Yai Miko, this is Attack Goblet, right? We're doing just over 1 million DPR. If we switch that to EM, for example... Well, actually, it's kind of close. It goes down to... I guess EM isn't that far off of attack. But, as you can see, it's less damage when you switch to EM. And when you switch to Electro Damage bonus, it goes down even further. So yes, attack is the way to go. And this is also with the craftable weapon, which already gives you like some attack and has a base attack. If you use a crit weapon, I think the difference between attack and EM is even slightly bigger. Attack Goblet is the way to go. Although if you have a shit attack Goblet and have a really, really, really good EM Goblet, that's unlikely, but you could try it out. Maybe the EM Goblet is a little bit better in that case. But in general, for these, like even for characters like Flynn's and Effa, the attack Goblet is usually better. Same is true for Yai. Although for someone like Sino, if you have Staff of the Scarlet Sands, that has another layer of EM scaling. You'd want to use EM then. But if you don't have that, like all of these formulas, they prefer attack a little bit more. And yeah, let me fix. I know, okay, something I did wrong. The burst multiplier is a little bit lower actually. So this is actually, this number is not 99, it's only 66%. So okay, never mind. We're only doing 205k DPS. That's still really, really strong for a 2-cost team. Like, insane. This is still the strongest 2-cost team in the game, probably. But it's no longer ridiculous. It's still ridiculous, but it's not as ridiculous as it was like a second ago. Yeah, 78. 3.91. That's the correct scaling, I believe. Stellar Conducts, 78. And it's 5 times. That's such a small difference. I did something wrong, probably. Oh, I didn't count C6 yet, right. That's only C5. Each stack of Frost Glow consumed when using the Elemental Burst increases Stellar Glimmer reaction dealt by other party members. other party members. Okay, so Odette and Yai, I guess. Maximum 40% increase can be obtained this way. So, wait, that's horrible. What? Well, it's not horrible, but it's just kind of underwhelming. Then Yai Miko gets like 40% from Traveler, I guess. Odette gets 40% from Traveler. It's a little bit underwhelming. It's 227. 205 to 227. Tiny difference from C2 to C6. Is that really it? I guess it's Traveler. You shouldn't expect their constellations to be the most broken things in the game, but I was expecting the difference to be bigger. Wait, hold on. How big of a difference is this? Oh. Yeah, I believe it. That's broken, by the way. Okay, I think that's all for now. I might come back later, but I got a good I got what I came to get. I now have a good idea of how good Traveler actually is. I know how good Odette is with Sandrone and with Traveler. And this is we're looking at power creep, my friend. Especially at super low cost. Like, this is ridiculous. What do you mean a 2-cost team is doing 227,000 damage per second? And I don't think my calcs are like super inflated either, because you saw I was pretty meticulous with like every little damage instance, every little buff that goes into it. Like, this is 7% from Traveler plus the 14% from Odette. Yeah, it doesn't give it. How many artifact rolls am I assuming? Oh, I'm running higher artifact standards than KQMS. I'm running 34 rolls on Traveler. 34 subs. Yes, 34 useful subs. They're running 28 on KQMS. And they're also running talent level 9. I'm talent level 10. So that's like, if they have like TGS, for example, has 174k at KQMS. For my standard, I run 34 subs for Traveler and one more talent level. And I'm at 227k. So that kind of checks out as well with the KQMS numbers. Way higher. It's not that ridiculously high. I'm just using a standard that I think would be reasonable to get. Like, if you actually care and used Strongbox and crafting and rerolling and whatever. Like 34, like if you go to Bilibili, you look at the Chinese players, like they're assuming 40, sometimes even like more than that. I think they do 40 mid-high rolls. I do like 34 median rolls, which is like 6 subs higher than KQMS, but it's still closer to KQMS than to the CN standards, which is really funny. But yeah, 34 for Traveler, 34 for all of these characters actually, because they can use EM and attack. Like for someone like Skirk, it would be 33. Nefer as well, it would be 33, because they can't use EM. And for someone like Mualani, it would be even... Actually, Mualani could also only use 4. But let's say, like Flynn's. You can run... Flynn's wants ER as well. So that would be 35 subs. Yeah, so it's just a really good build, but I don't think it's ridiculous. Yeah, Billions are a different breed, indeed. Well, yeah, thanks for coming, Grimmy, and the other people, if any of you guys are here. But yeah, that was a good stream. I really enjoy doing this, actually. Even though it's just looking at a spreadsheet, it's pretty fun. I think I might come back later tonight, and then we can do a couple more. I don't particularly care about Risley or Sino. So I might just move on to Arlecchino and her vape teams with Mona and Sucrose. And then we'll look at a little bit of Moeka stuff. And a little bit of Mualani maybe. Because I haven't properly calced their Hexerite teams yet. Oh, thank you, Grimmy. That's very encouraging to hear. Yeah. I'll be back either later or tomorrow. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.